Hi everyone. Today I thought I'd do something really fun. You know how Oprah does her most favorite things? I thought I'd do my most favorite things. Number one most favorite thing. Green smoothie. I have to tell you an experience I just had yesterday. I'd run out of greens. I know. Something I'll never do again. But I'd run out of greens Saturday night. Sunday morning, I was going to meet family for breakfast. So I was like, well, we were meeting at 8 o'clock. That's pretty early for me. So I'm usually having my green smoothie then. So I'm thinking, well, I can skip it, and then I'll get my greens on the way home. Never going to happen again. I ate oatmeal for breakfast, bananas and oatmeal. And I had a significant amount. I don't hold back when I eat. By about 10 o'clock, I was starting to feel like I could just stop. I was in a store with my stepmom, and I just literally was standing looking at the books going, I gotta sit down. And I couldn't figure out what was wrong with me until I sat down and went, well, what's different about today? And that's what was different. Whatever is in that green smoothie, it gives me tons of energy. And not that I was ready to go to sleep or anything, but it was like a significant difference from my normal day. So one of my most favorite things is green smoothies. We'll never be without them again. A couple of my other favorite things have to do with knowledge, reading. I am a huge fan of the library, and then if I can't find it at the library, then I go to the bookstore. And yeah, I even get that little discount card, because it really pays itself off in the end. But one of my most favorite new books that I have to tell everyone about, and that I'll probably be talking about on the radio show in weeks to come, is this. Michael Pollan, Food Rules. Michael Pollan wrote In Defense of Foods and Omnivore's Dilemma. And it's a cute book, and for anybody who's just starting out, just trying to figure out about their body, whether you have an illness or not, if you're just trying to make better choices, this is the book. It's the best $10 I've ever spent, and it's broken down into simple language. I'm just going to pick one. I love this one. Avoid foods you see advertised on television. Why? Because they're usually processed to the millennium. This is what I hate about processed foods, is they process it so much that they have to put vital nutrients back inside. When you see that they've added vitamin D or added vitamin K or added these things, where did they go? How come you had to add them back in? People don't ask these questions. So this is one of my most favorite things. One of my second most favorite things, and not everyone will like this, and I'll explain why in a minute, is this book. It's called Death Can Be Cured. Actually, it says Death Can Be Cured and 99 Other Medical Hypotheses. There's a Journal of Medical Hypotheses, and it's in my sidebar on my website. And what they do is they are researchers. They are doctors. When researchers are hired by companies to research cures, they're to research in one way. They aren't asked to hypothesize about anything. And anyone who has studied science knows that you have to start with an analysis, a hypothesis, and then you go from there. But our science, our research doesn't do that. And that's what these people are all about. They're about, where do you get the idea to go in what direction? And, some of the stuff are really out there, and darn well they're not going to turn into any kind of research. But a couple of the things they talk about is really interesting and really makes you stop and think. And that's why I like these people. You can go on their website. They have if it's a monthly or bi-monthly journal that's free online. You can, I'm sorry, I don't know if it's free. I subscribe to a lot of things online, so I'm not sure if it's free, but I know you can sample one of their journals, and that's also in my sidebar. One of my other most favorite things is Dr. Andrew Weil. God bless this man, because I have had a dream forever, and I don't know why I've had this dream, but I've always had this dream of wanting to open a healing center and watching it grow into this holistic, I don't like the word holistic, this fabulous community of doctors of all kinds, not MDs, yes, because there's a place for every modality, every health modality. There is a place for that. And there should be a place with all of those modalities in one place for people to get what they need. I think back to Michael Jackson, and, I don't know if he had lupus or not. A lot of people say he did. He had something, besides his, I don't know if I'm saying this right, vitiglio, the skin issue he had. But, someone like that who could afford anything in the world, but there's no place for them to go. That saddens me, that people die so young because of what's not available to them. And that's why I like him so much, because he talks about integrated medicine, putting it all together. Deepak also talks about it, but this guy is actually a professor at a university in Phoenix, I believe it is, and has been there for years, and has been developing an integrated medical area in that university, where doctors are being taught, how to look at everything, how to treat the patient as a whole. That's what I like, and I think sometimes that's why it took me so long to get the right answer, because I wanted somebody. I didn't like when a doctor just stuck a label on me. I hated that, and I understood it. I understand the Western society and why that is. It doesn't mean I had to like it. But this. I don't know how old this book is. I think it's pretty new, but it's called Why Our Health Matters. And for anyone with a chronic illness, you need to read this book, because you're obviously using the medical system, the Western medical system. And he kind of breaks it down into what it is, why it is. And I think that's really important for a lot of people with chronic illness, because they don't understand why they don't always get their answers. And what you can do, and where we're heading, where he wants us to head, what he's striving for. And actually, he is one of the people I tithe to, I donate to, because he has a foundation. Yeah, why didn't you see that title again? He has a foundation that helps support this kind of thinking, to help support this kind of growth in our world. And it's funny, because I actually tried to facilitate something like that once. And where I live in South Florida, it did not fly. First of all, try and get a doctor, an MD, to support it. Not going to happen. I got a homeopath to support it. But then it's like, how do you get everybody together? All those other modalities to work this. And this is I'm sure this is the mindset of many, and not just here in South Florida, but it's kind of like, you're over there and I'm over here, the different modalities. Anyway, good book, good man. He also has a fabulous website, which is in my sidebar, on my regular website. When I talk about raw foods, I want to be a little more, actually I'll talk about this at another time, because that's a little too much information. The last thing I want to talk about is this magazine, Life Extension, also in my sidebar on my website, full of, they're all medical doctors, and they do integrative therapy too. And I think I'm going to have to stop. I'm just getting the from my friend who says my time is up. So I think I'll continue this maybe tomorrow on that other book, and have a fabulous, fabulous day, and keep pushing beyond remission. Ciao.